One of our clients' biggest hurdles is not having quality photos. So, if this is you, you are going to want to stick around to hear how you can DIY your own photography and use photography elements to take better pictures, even if you are just using your phone. Now, these same practices are going to apply if you do have a digital camera or want to take your own pictures using your own professional camera. But for the purposes of this training, this is going to be how to take better pictures for your small business or nonprofit using your iPhone. The secret to a good photo is good light. What does good light mean? It means that the subject is fully lit and able to be seen so that you can highlight that subject. What are different types of light? First, you have hard light. This could be light from the noonday sun or maybe really bright, highly exposed light that is directly on your subject. So, an example of really hard light would be us standing outside during the middle of the day filming a wedding or capturing pictures, or maybe it's underneath those fluorescent bulbs when you're trying to take a really good product shot, right? Soft light is when you are viewing light that is diffused through something. This could be light bouncing off of the top of a white tent or through a photography reflector where you can bounce light around. Diffused soft light does really nice for portraits or creating kind of that blurred background type of effect. But you can have a great photo in hard light and you can have a great photo in soft light. So you want to be constantly aware how you are lighting your photos when you're taking pictures for your small business products or your nonprofit services. The rule of thirds places your subject in the left hand or the right hand view of frame. This creates a natural draw of the eye towards one side or the other of your image. And this is a great way to get the audience or viewer to look at a specific place that you were hoping that they look at. So placing your subject in the left third or the right third is a great way to use the rule of thirds to draw attention to whatever it is that you want your audience to pay attention to. You are totally allowed to break the rules when it goes to rules of third. The rule of third is really to aim and pull focus towards your subject, but sometimes breaking that rule actually does the same thing. So break the rules, have your subject right in the middle, front and center, and just capture the person and the emotion behind what you are sharing. So if it's a person, we want to see that person. If it is an action or a service that is happening, we want to see the full extent of that service that is being conducted. Let's talk events. As a small business or nonprofit, there probably are events or galas or things happening that you want to take pictures of. But you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, so you kind of hang around in the background, stand from far away, and snap a couple of broad pictures. While an overview and snapshot of what the whole event looks like from afar is great, you want to get in the action so you can encourage other people to be a part of those things that you're doing for next time. Do not be afraid to get in the action and be up close and personal with your customers, with your patrons, and just be right in the action where it's happening. The more we can help our audience feel like they are a part of the thing that we are doing right there in person through a screen is a great way to invite them to be a part of that experience next time. So don't be afraid and get nice and personal with your people and capture the events as they are happening. As a content creator for your small business or nonprofit, it's important to get content and footage that is in the horizontal frame, but also the vertical. That way you can use it for short form video and long form video as you create content to share more with your audience online. Do we get it right all the time? No. Even as a professional photographer who uses our digital camera all the time, there are times that we mess up and that photo that we really, really wanted isn't the crispiest, isn't the most sharp, but it is a unique image that is a memory that we have just captured. So don't discourage yourself if you might not have gotten the shot or it might not have turned out the way you wanted to. Often you can use different tools and other elements when you create that content before publishing to make it just a little bit more sharp or unique or have your own lens to it. Most people are going to stick to the tried and true, put the subject right in front of you and not really pay attention to those grids and the rule of thirds. But I would encourage you to get unique and get creative in the ways that you are sharing what you do online. We can be like everybody else and share a quality image. We definitely want to do that. But if you can think creatively and outside the box and use a different angle or a different perspective to share what it is that you're doing, that is the best way to capture footage that is going to invoke a response or an emotion with your audience. Social media is about being social with the people that are there. So creating a different type of image or piece of content that makes them feel something is really important, and why it's important to take great photos. Pop quiz. There are some terms that are going to be helpful when it comes to understanding certain elements of photography when you're doing this on your phone. The first one is exposure. This is how much light is actually exposed to the photo or the subject that you are taking a picture of. So right now I have a light in front of me and I have pretty high exposure because it's right in my face. But if I take it away, you can see that the exposure just got lower because there's less light exposing the subject. Aperture is how wide or how small the opening of the camera lens is getting to let the light in. So adjusting the aperture is going to allow the space in which the light passes to be either smaller or bigger. Aperture is also sometimes referred to as an f-stop on a camera. So in your iPhone, you might see a little F with a circle in it. That is the setting to adjust your aperture. So if you hear somebody say they're adjusting their f-stop or their aperture, they are simply referring to how much focus is in front of or behind the subject. So if the background is super blurry, then it might be a lower f-stop so that the background is less clear. If it's a higher f-stop or higher aperture, then it is allowing for all the things in the background to be in focus as the subject. Again, those are just some terms that are helpful when understanding photography basics. It's okay if you don't use these on your phone when we are learning how to take better pictures for our business or nonprofit, but those terms will especially help you if you are learning how to use your digital camera. Let's talk iPhones. iPhones have immense capability and power to take quality images and even video. Right now, we are recording this video on our iPhone and we are using the grids feature, and the most underrated tools that you can use are portrait mode and cinematic mode. What's cinematic mode? We are currently recording this video in cinematic mode. If you can tell, it blurs out the background just a little bit, so we have a higher f-stop so that the subject, is clear and sharp in the view. It's the same thing that portrait mode does. It does that for us instead of adjusting our shutter speed, our f-stop, all the things on our digital cameras. iPhones make it easy and they do that for us. In most cases, when you're using portrait mode on your iPhone, it's going to do a lot of the work for you. But if you notice, there's a little slider at the bottom of your screen when you're in portrait mode. If you hold down on the screen and slide through, there's actually lots of different options to give you different feel of that portrait mode. Maybe it's in the studio, maybe it's outside. The different settings will adjust your lighting to make sure that your subject looks the best. So if you want to try a different way to take your portrait photos, this might be the best way to try to do that. Using the portrait mode on your phone is tricky when you have lots of people in an action shot. So be sure to make sure that you are putting the subject and tapping on the screen so that they're always in focus and they don't get blurred out in the background. Practice makes perfect. So get your phone, get your camera, and start taking pictures for your small business or nonprofit today. You will thank yourself later when you have photos to choose from when it comes to creating your content online. Having a variety of images and images of your products and services and the people that you work with is going to lend super great to showing the behind the scenes to your audience so that they can be a part of the journey. The more connected that our audience feels with you as a business or nonprofit, the more likely they are to engage in the things that you're hoping they will, like making a sale, using those services, or joining the programs that you offer. Get into action and take some pictures and take some videos today. You do not have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So let's go take some pictures. If you thought this video was helpful, be sure to save it for reference or share it with a friend. We would love to continue to add value to other small businesses and nonprofits by sharing marketing advice online. To schedule a session with Brinsfield Studios, visit our website. But more importantly, if you want to learn how to do all the things marketing-wise, content planning, strategies, anything like that, we are a marketing virtual assistant who is here to help you. Join the course and learn through self-guided video tutorials, just like we are doing here today, or work alongside us every single month as a virtual assistant partner, and we can help you capture pictures every single month and help guide you through the journey and all the hurdles that marketing brings. Feel free to comment if you enjoyed this video and let us know what other videos you'd like to see next. Until next time, this is Helen here from Brinsfield Studios.